Dave Wilson Nursery started in 1938, primarily as a commercial grower, providing trees to the farmers that were planting out in the fields. Got into retail sales short time afterwards, but really started developing their retail sales once they formed a partnership with Zager Genetics. They're the company that did the testing and came up with some of your interspecific fruits like Apriums and Pluots and Pluaries and so forth. As we've gone through, we've developed some really nice programs and some really nice educational information. And Summer Winds has been a partner with us since their inception. And actually, prior to Summer Winds, we worked with Woolworth Garden Centers and Tip Tops as well. So we have a history together. Summer Winds has been a fantastic customer and we appreciate you so much. Summer Winds has helped us introduce several new varieties into the market, and there's many more varieties to come. And we're going to talk about the apples you have on your order. You have some really great varieties here, and these are varieties that are known in the marketplace. So your Dorset Golden. Dorset Golden's a low chill, heavy producer, golden delicious type apple. Great flavor. You move into your Fuji. I think pretty much everybody knows what a Fuji apple is. And the great thing about these apples is when you go to a grocery store, you're going to find peaches that are named yellow and white. If you notice, apples and pears they all have their names out there because these are known. Fuji apple is one of the best apples in my opinion. It's an heirloom. It's been around forever. But flavor-wise, it is really difficult to beat a Fuji. Gala is in that realm as well. Another great apple, great color. The Honeycrisp apple, it's gone down in popularity with the consumer on the produce level because the next one, Cosmic Crispus, came along and it's kind of taken some of the love away from Honeycrisp. But Honeycrisp is a great apple and it's really crisp flesh, a nice white flesh to it. We move into the Pink Lady, another one that's very popular in the grocery stores that the consumers are going to know very well. And then all of these are great for fresh eating until you get to Granny Smith, and that thing is tart. It is sour. It is great for slicing up and putting in a pie, put some sugar on it and take it. It's amazing that way. I have tasted these, just taking a bite of them out in the orchard just to make that face, and I make that face when I try them, just so you know. Moving into your apricots, you have a couple of varieties here, the Blenheim and the Harcott. Blenheim is a old-fashioned favorite, tried and true. If you've had an apricot before and you didn't know what it was, there's a good chance it was either a Blenheim or a Tilton. Well-known variety, produces very well. Remember with apricots, sometimes you'll have an alternate bearing, which means one year you're going to have so many pieces of fruit that you can't eat all of them. The next year you're going to have 3. So just bear in mind, if customers start asking you questions about apricots, you can get alternate varieties. You can offset that with another variety in your backyard that might help with that, but it's kind of a common thing with them. Your other apricot is a larger piece of fruit. It's called a Harcott. It's got a really nice firm flesh to it and really intense flavor. Apricots are my youngest daughter's favorite piece of fruit. If she were here, she would give you all of her notes on it, but you have 2 very great apricots ready to go. Getting into your cherries, you have 4 different varieties of cherries that you're offering this year. And the one on the left over here in the upper left corner, that is the old tried and true, everybody knows it, Bing cherry. Bing cherry has been around for forever. It's the #1 cherry that's been produced in the United States. Its longevity is owed to the flavor. And the thing with the Bing can pollinate, but Bing needs a pollinizer as well. So you'll need to have more than 1 tree to get your fruit. With that being said, if you move over to this cluster, and I had to ask Bridget, our marketing person, did you Photoshop that? Because that's a pretty nice cluster of cherries right there. And that is the Lappin's cherry. Lappin's is a self-fertile Bing cherry. If you have a small space and you only want 1 tree, Lappin's is going to give you a Bing-like cherry without the need for a pollinizer. If anyone comes in asking for a variety called Bada Bing, Bada Bing cherry is another name that was given to Lappin's cherry, but Lappin's and Bada Bing are the same thing. I don't know if anyone's ever asked you that. I just wanted to warn you ahead of time. Over here on the bottom left-hand side is the Royal Rainier. Royal Rainier is different than your other cherries because of the coloration. It's a yellow cherry. It gets that nice red blush to it. I'll be honest with you, I personally like the yellow cherries a little better. I like the flavor of them. The trees grow the same. There's not a big difference as far as height or width, but I love the color and I love the flavor on these. And then you have your Royal, which is a little larger than the Bing and the Lapins and has a different ripening time, but exceptionally wonderful flavor on those. We're into one of my favorite fruits, and I don't know how many of you have tried a jujube or actually picked a jujube. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. Please be careful when you go out there because jujubes have thorns that are about this long on the small side, and they're mean, and they'll poke you. The varieties you have here are actually my 4 favorite varieties, and I don't think I had a whole lot to do with picking on these, but had I been able to throw my 2 cents worth in, these are the varieties I would pick. You have the honey jar, which is a very sweet tasting fruit when it's brown. They're all sweet when they're brown, and I'm gonna tell you, when you see the green up here in the left-hand corner, when it's green and you're starting to get a little bit of brown spotting to it, you can taste that, and it's going to have a flavor similar to like a Granny Smith apple. When you get it brown and it's still firm, it's sweetened up and it has more of a Fuji-like flavor. And the consistency of the flesh and the texture is very apple-like. If you'll notice the pit, you have to be careful of the pit. The pit it's sharp on both ends, so just to warn you ahead of time. As those start to get past the firmness and they start to shrivel a little bit, they take on a different texture altogether. Personally, I don't like them when they dry naturally. I like them when they've been cooked, utilize some brown sugar, a little bit of water, and you cook them down, they get a date-like consistency. And that's where the name Chinese date comes from. You have the Lee jujube, which is, it's been in the market longer than all the rest of the varieties, and it's probably been the best seller throughout the years. Your GA866, that actually was developed at Chico State. And instead of giving it a name, they put it into the market with the research number that they gave it. And I was telling the folks yesterday, I have customers from Georgia that call me and they want the Georgia jujube, and that's the one. Your sugar cane, it's going to be a smaller piece of fruit, but hard to beat when it comes to the flavor of them. Very, very tasty. I have a variety up in the left-hand corner called Double Delight, and Double Delight got its name because not only do you get that really wonderful, juicy, flavorful piece of fruit, in the spring, you have an amazing display when it puts on its spring bloom. The floral display it's exceptional. So you have a Double Delight with it. You have two different characteristics that make that a desirable tree. We have the Snow Queen nectarine, and that's actually one of my favorite nectarines. Where I'm located, I go down and I start picking those around the 4th of July, and then I make homemade ice cream with them. They're exceptionally sweet. When the flesh is firm and crisp, it has a tartness to it, but if you let it soften a little bit, it's one of the sweetest pieces of fruit you'll ever try. We have your Arctic Sprite and your Nectazy, and those are going to be your genetic dwarfs, the miniature trees. So you're going to have a tree that is going to naturally only get to around 5 or 6 feet tall. With that being said, you're going to have just a bevy of fruit on there to pick from. And these are 2 of the best varieties on miniatures. Okay, now we're into the peaches. You have some more minis here, the Honey Babe and the Pixie. I've seen the Honey Babe out in our Bubba orchard just loaded with fruit, so you're going to get a lot of production off of those. I've got the Saucy Swirl, which is a flat peach like your Stark Saturn, the donut peach. They're very popular, and I sometimes I think the popularity comes more from the actual look and shape of the fruit than from the flavor, although the flavor is unbelievable as well. And then here on the bottom, we have the old-time favorite, the Alberta peach. You have the July Alberta. There's several different varietals of Alberta-type peaches that all have an Alberta name. You have the July Alberta. There's an early, a mid, and a late that are all almost identical, but there's a 2 weeks ripening period between. And you have one in the middle, so the July Alberta is exceptional. Bartlett pear, when people think of a pear fruit, generally the Bartlett is the fruit they think of. Bartlett's been around for a very long time. It gets notoriety in the grocery stores. Folks are going to know that name very well. You have a really beautiful Asian pear, the Shinseki. Shinseki is very sweet. The flavor of the Shinseki, if you leave it on the tree just a little bit longer, it sweetens up even more. So cannot recommend either one of these enough. I have a lot of favorite fruits. I don't know if you guys have caught on to that, but the hachia and the thuyu persimmon. I was telling everyone yesterday, and I could see the people out here that have been tricked into tasting a hachia before it's ready. It's beautiful and it's orange and it looks amazing. And someone hands it to you and goes, hey, take a bite of that and try it. If that hachia is not soft, do not listen to them. They are not your friend. Don't taste it. It is so astringent, it takes all the flavor out of your mouth and you won't be able to taste anything for days. I can't say how bad it is. But if you wait just a little bit to where it softens and you can feel it squish beneath your fingers, you are hard pressed to find another piece of fruit that is this versatile. If you've had persimmon cookies, if you've had persimmon bread, chances are they were made with a hachia. And once they're soft, they're amazing. It's a pudding-like texture. Just don't eat them when they're firm. I'm going to tell you a hachia trick. If you've never tried hoshigaki, and when I say the words, that there's the people that know what I'm talking about. They're like, oh yeah, oh that's good. And the people that don't want to try it when I'm done. So what you do to make hoshigaki is you take a hachia persimmon, you clip it and leave the stem on, and then you peel the skin off of it, and you take a piece of twine, tie two together, one on each end, hang them and let them dry. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on your climate. You have to go through and like massage them a little bit here and there, turn them, talk to them, say nice things. If you want to sing to them, pick a good song because they like music. But what will happen is that will eventually dry down to where the fruit has a really dark color to it, and then the sugars start coming out and it looks like a powdered donut. That's when you eat it, and it is the best piece of candy you're ever going to try. We have our friend the thuyu over here, which has more of an apple texture to it. Good for fresh eating. If someone wants you to try one of those and they hand it to you, I recommend it. Flat, okay. Not flat, hold up. You can utilize the thuyu not only for fresh eating, but I don't know if any of you have ever made a Waldorf salad with apples. If you switch out the apples for thuyu, it gives it a nice change. You're going to get a lot of fruit off of your persimmons. So just bear in mind, if you want to do different things with it, it has a lot of different uses. You haven't heard me say this before. We're going to get into some of my favorite fruits right now. These two plums, the Burgundy and the Santa Rosa, there have been so many plums that have hit the market. These have been around for a very long time, but these are still fan favorites because they're amazing. The Burgundy plum, another early July ripener. You can start picking late June to early July, but it holds on the tree for a long time. So you don't have to harvest it all at once. You can keep going out and picking a couple fruit here and there every day. With the Burgundy, you have that really nice dark red flesh, and just the flavor is unbelievable. Santa Rosa plum is a Luther Burbank introduction. He's up from Sonoma County. He introduced so many different plant varieties, not just trees. But the Santa Rosa plum, it is a mainstay in the industry. It's a great pollinizer. It has around 300 chill hours, but if you're in an area where you have way more chill hours, it'll still do well there. It is a great pollinizer for most of your prunus varieties, plums and apriums and so forth. We have a couple of fruit here on the bottom that really have a bad rap, and it's not a justified bad rap. When people think of prunes, they usually have a negative thought about them. When my daughter was 6 years old, she would go out in the bugwood orchard and she would strip a tree because that was her favorite piece of fruit. If you pick a prune when it's ripe and firm on the tree, you are hard pressed to find a sweeter, more flavorful piece of fruit. And you have both the Italian and the sugar prune, phenomenal varieties. Getting into some of our inner specifics, the sweet treat is a Plueri. A Plueri is a plum cherry cross. The sweet treat Plueri has a more cherry-like flavor, but a more of a plum size to it. It's not going to be as large as most plums. It's going to be a little smaller, but it has a very unique flavor to it. The Dapple Dandy was one of the first of the pluots that was introduced. Dapple Dandy, you may have seen a variety in grocery stores called the dinosaur egg. Dinosaur egg and Dapple Dandy are the same thing. My son was very into dinosaurs when he was a youngster, so we did not go to the grocery store without bringing home dinosaur eggs when they were available.